Welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm Sarah Vantine here with Ted Ings. Today, Ted, we have an exciting topic that Robert Wooden is going to be discussing more in detail that's really important for our industry right now.
Sarah, you're so right. Robert Wooden is in a great place in our industry. He heads up Fixed Ops Intelligence, Fixed Ops Intel. Robert, welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable Rock Revolution.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Ted, Sarah. Great to join you again. Thanks for having me.
Great to see you. And so much happening in your space right now, Robert. It's hard to keep up. It's happening so fast. We just had you on the show a couple months ago. So, congratulations to you on all the success that you're having.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a fun ride so far. We're hanging on.
Well, Robert, the last time that you were on the Fixed Ops Roundtable, you teased us that you were working on something new for Fixed Ops Intel. So, can you share with us a little bit more about what's new and what you've been working on?
Yeah, so since my last appearance on the Fixed Ops Roundtable, we've incorporated a service maintenance menu into Fixed Ops Intel.
Wow.
And, we're really excited about Fixed Ops menus. And, we expect it to be a feature that's very popular with our current and new clients.
Robert, I got to tell you, from having done a lot of work in dealerships, a good menu is something that dealerships need, and a lot of them don't utilize and don't have it, or if they did, they don't quite have it anymore. So we know you and Fixed Ops Intel for your expertise in warranty uplift, and of course data analytics. Why did you decide to add digital menus into your portfolio?
Yeah, great question, Ted. So the simple answer is there's a need for it, as you've already articulated, and we had customers asking for it. So, why not give them what they want, right? So we know there's more pressure than ever on the service departments to increase profits. And the easiest and most cost effective way to increase your sales is by maximizing every customer that you already have and every customer visit. So, customers are keeping their vehicles longer. By the end of 2026, the average car age is going to be 13 years old. And I just saw a recent Carfax study that found that 41% of those vehicles have at least one major maintenance service that's overdue. And, it's our duty as professionals to inform our guests of those required services and to offer to do those services today.
Sarah, can you imagine a dealership business office or F&I office that doesn't utilize some form of a menu? And it's just as important, if not even more important, Sarah, in service.
It is, Ted, and Robert. I want to come back to something that you mentioned with the maintenance menu tool specifically. So, you commented that you saw a need for it, and I'm sure our dealers that are listening are thinking about how currently it's done in their organization, and there is a lot of different potential options out there that dealers may have in terms of how they structure their maintenance menu tools. So, what is the void that your menu fills compared to others for dealers?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Sarah. So paper menus and menu boards are dead, right? So they are outdated by the time the ink is dry on them. Parts prices change monthly, sometimes more frequently than monthly. And, an advisor being able to accurately quote, say, a 30,000 mile service for every make and model that their franchise deals with for the past 20 years off the top of their head, it's impossible. You can't do it. The vehicles are too varied, they're too complex, and there's a lot of different maintenance requirements depending on that vehicle. So fixed ops menu covers most of the vehicles sold in North America from current models going back 20 years. We're excluding exotics like Ferrari and Aston Martin. We don't really have those menus, but for all the common stuff that's out there that you're going to run into every day in a dealership or in a independent repair shop, we're going to be able to present a menu for that. And the menus use factory OEM schedules, factory OEM part numbers, part pricing, and labor times are already set up. So you can fire it up without doing any customization and be able to present a menu to a customer and be able to do it profitably and be correct. Um, so, if we look at an independent shop, or let's say a Ford quick lane dealer is a great example. Um, you're not just servicing a Ford, right? You're going to have other makes come in. So if I'm servicing a 2013 Camry or a 2024 Honda Accord, how do I know how many quarts of oil does it take? Does it take 5 quarts of 0W20, 8 quarts of 5W30? Does it have dual spark plugs, etc.? There's a lot of different variables that go into that. And it really requires an electronic menu to instantly be able to answer that basic critical question of what maintenance is due and how much does it cost. Most digital menu systems today are limited to
Right.
one franchise.
Yes.
um, and or they're too complicated. So if we look at CDK Service, Reynolds SSK, Xtime, they're all fantastic systems. But if I'm a VW dealer, I only have menus and pricing for VW vehicles. And none of those systems will allow a dealer to have menus for other franchises that they're not franchised for, right? So a VW dealer cannot even have an Audi menu, or a Toyota dealer can't have a Lexus menu because they're not franchised for it. And they work on those cross brands all the time. Another example, another question we sometimes will run into is all data. A lot of dealers have all data, and that's a great tool. It has a lot of information, and it has a lot of all the same information that we have. But in order to present a menu to a customer, if I was using all data, I have to build that menu. I have to individually select an oil change, a tire rotation, an air filter, a cabin filter, and that takes time. And we know that advisors don't have that time to waste. Uh, a lot of times, the guests coming in are already uncomfortable and impatient when they arrive for their appointment. So to have to take that time to build a menu only increases the customer's anxiety, and that's going to lead to more declines. So those are just a couple of reasons
Sure.
why we think that fixed ops menu fills that void. It's data that every store can need and use, and it's served up instantly with just a couple of clicks.
And it looks professional, Robert. Like you said, the days of paper are behind us. Now, it sounds like you're advocating presenting that menu during the reception process with the guests. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, some managers and advisors think that waiting to present a maintenance plan until after we're completing the multi-point inspection and diagnosing their initial concern is somehow more of an ethical way of selling maintenance. And I disagree with that. And let me explain to
Sure.
you why I say that. I've spent 35 years working and managing consulting in dealerships, fixed operations all across North America. And really the last 20 years, I've heavily been focused in the digital menu space, and even developing a training process centered around how to use digital menus to sell more maintenance. And without question, advisors that present a maintenance plan on a computer or tablet in some kind of digital format at the time of reception have a higher closing ratio and better CSI than those that wait until after that initial sale. Selling is psychology. Customers expect us as professionals to have a plan right from the first interaction. And the old joke is, if it's on the internet, it must be true. And it's a joke because there's an element of truth in that. We're more accepting of things that we can see with our own eyes, and anything that appears on a computer screen has more credibility than just a folded up piece of paper or a dirty laminated sheet on the advisor's desk. It's just human nature and human psychology 101. So if I present a maintenance recommendation at the time of reception and the customer declines, I've planted that seed in their head. And either consciously or subconsciously, that customer will think about those recommendations and they'll sell themselves. So later, when I do contact that customer with an estimate for their initial concerns, I'm going to again ask for them to complete those recommended maintenance services, and it's just reinforcing what we've told them in the beginning, and the chances of them saying yes are much higher. So that kind of is why I advocate for trying to present a menu at the time of reception. Just gives us a better chance of closing that sale.
Well, Robert, my head is spinning because, as dealerships are having these conversations, like you said, in the reception and the moment the customer walks in, or even before that, there's customers that are calling around, they're researching, maybe they're new to the area, but I'm just thinking of all of the applications this has, and customer pay right now is a big focus for dealerships, and of course, we're seeing lots of used car sales, and those could be, like you said, across all kinds of different brands, not just the rooftops OEM. So who can benefit from using fixed ops menus? What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, so again, the menus are applicable to franchise dealers, tire shops, independent repair garages, like I said, quick lanes.
Sure.
They're completely independent from a DMS system, so you're not required to even connect up to a Reynolds or CDK or anybody else. And our regular dealer clients can add menus to their fixed ops intel package. So if we're doing a warranty uplift for them, they have access to fixed ops intel. And they have all the data reporting, and this is just an add-on, so they can run it together, or independently, or both. And I look at our menus as benefiting all three parties. So they're a benefit to the store. The store can sell a correct maintenance service profitably. If I'm just shooting from the hip and I throw out a number, and that maybe the parts cost more than I was guessing, then it becomes a discounting. Now I have to discount parts or labor, and I'm losing revenue there. So by using our menus, we're selling OEM parts at OEM MSRP pricing. And again, the dealer is welcome to change the pricing and however they want. But again, if I just go with the default, I know I'm going to sell it at a profit, and I'm not going to have to discount stuff. And chances are I'm going to go down the street and probably get an aftermarket filters for a vehicle that I'm not franchised for. So the store's going to be more profitable. The advisors are going to benefit from it because it's quick, it's easy, it's accurate, and they're going to have the confidence and be able to present that menu and know that they're going to be able to do it, and not have to discount or lose their shorts on it. And then finally, the customer benefits from it. Their vehicle is being properly protected by following the manufacturer's maintenance recommendations, and any of the additional dealer recommendations that they want to add in based on their local conditions. The menus are fully customizable. Non-factory service recommendations like alignments, tire balances, fluid services can be layered in at whatever mileage intervals that the store wants. Um, yeah, that's kind of uh, the way I look at the benefits of menus. Um, you
So do you
know,
wanna show us, Robert, some of the things you got instead of just keeping it behind the curtain? Let's bring it out.
yeah, it's funny. This is, I think, my third time joining you guys on the round table. And in the previous things, we've talked about fixed ops intel, we've talked about warranty uplift, we talked about DMSs, and then now we're talking about electronic menus. So definitely want to be able to show the roundtable community, and human beings are visual creatures. Seeing is understanding. So by showing the audience, hopefully they're going to understand the features of fixed ops intel and why they should choose us as a partner. So um, yeah, on the screen when we log in, this is going to be the navigation bar on the left hand side of the screen, and we'll start from the top. And we talked about this previously, is being able to chat with our chat bot here.
Okay.
And let me So
Right.
we can click on chat, and if you've used Chat GPT or any of the other AI models, we're going to have some common questions up here that we can just click on and it'll answer. But our Dash is what they call LLM, a large language module, so it understands what we're trying to say, even if we don't type it in correctly. And I can just how many oil changes were sold last month, and it tells me how many oil changes. And hey, do we want to break that down by store, advisor, by day? Yeah,
Well,
let's break it down by advisor, so I can see by advisor how many repair orders with an oil change, how many oil change labor lines, and you know what's my effective labor rate? Can you plot that out for the last year, by month? You can ask it all kinds of things. Plot what are my top 5 vehicle makes based on repair order count. So there's a lot of just really anything that you want to ask it about your data for your store, or stores.
hmm,
It will find that for you. So it's super powerful, and reports can become a rabbit hole that we can go down, and building reports, and not a lot of managers have the time or
right.
really know how to build those reports. So we want to make it easy. Just ask the system and it will give it to you.
Robert,
So
is this available now or coming?
yeah, it's available now. So all of our fixed ops Intel clients have this feature turned
Wow.
on, and they can just use it. And just like any AI, it gets better with usage. So we really are trying to encourage our current clients to play with it, to use it, see what's
Nice.
happening. Um, it's it, it's a lot of fun, and it's something that we are continuously working on the development side to make it better and add more content for our customers. Some of the canned reports we have in here are going to be really important KPIs. So in Fixed Ops Intel, each store can set their own KPI goals, and we have a dashboard. So when you open it up, it gives you some visual gauges real quick.
Okay. Okay.
But two of the very important reports that we have here are we call a variance report. So in here, I can set my goals, and it shows me, if I'm green, I'm hitting my goal. If it's red, I'm not hitting my goal. And then you can start to drill in and find out, why am I not hitting those goals? So that's our variance report. And then we have a pace report. So based on the day of the month, it's going to calculate out and say, hey, your goal, in this case, my goal is 3,500 CP repair orders, and I'm only on pace for 3,462.
Hmm.
So I'm in jeopardy of missing my goal. Why? What do I need to do to rectify that? So that's some KPIs there. Another report that's very, very important for especially franchise managers is a commodities report. So the things that we're really focused in on: air filters, cabin filters, brakes, tires, spark plugs, wipers, and then of course the fluid services
Hmm.
as well. So we're going to track those by advisor and by technician. We track it by unit sales, and we also track it by penetration percentage. So I can see by individual area and by individual advisor and technician, what's their penetration rate on brakes or tires, or tire balances, whatever it is. And again, you can drill right down to the repair order level in all of these reports. So that's the commodities report. Labor sales report. This is
Oh,
your traditional, wrap report,
okay.
3611 in Reynolds,
Yep.
and you can drill down into that as well. And one of the things that we do a little bit different is we always are looking at advisor, and you can also look at technician. So I can see by technician what their labor sales are, parts sales, and gross. And that's sometimes good information to have. Again, warranty uplift rate report. This is tracking two things. We're tracking labor. We also track parts, and it's going to do it over a 12-month period. So you can see, when is a good time for me to submit for warranty increase. Or in this case, the green line up top is this dealer's goal is 190 an hour. And I'm not quite hitting that goal. And the difference between our warranty uplift report that you're seeing here and a normal effective labor rate report, which we do have as well, is this warranty effective labor rate report is stripping out all the repairs that don't qualify for calculation in my warranty rate.
Okay, sure,
So this is
sure.
giving you a truer picture of the rates that you could qualify for. And again, this is where AI is being
That's a
applied.
great point. No,
Yeah, yep. A lot of times we'll have a dealer that will look at their DMS effective labor rate report and say, yeah, I can't get a rate increase. But then we look at it this way and say, hey, look, this is really what you could get. And they're kind of
right.
shocked by that.
Yes.
And then, we're also tracking parts on this warranty effective labor rate as well, or effective rate. So we're tracking
Right.
parts performance as well.
Nice.
And then service menus, right? So we were just talking about service menus. Let's take a quick look. So you can just pop in a VIN number. It will decode a VIN right down to year, make, model, engine, transmission, driveline. Or you could drill down. If I don't have a VIN number, I can manually drill down to that level. But when I get here, I can have a good, better, best menu selection. And again, it shows you the different prices for the different levels. And if the customer says, "Gee, I don't want to do the spark plugs," or I did the air filter myself, you can click on those to strike them out, and it takes them off of the estimate and in real time. So this is where I'm talking about the advisors can do it very quickly, accurately, and
Okay.
they're going to build that confidence in a menu presentation.
Nice.
So, and there's a lot of features within the menu, more time than we probably have to go into today. But just know that it is fully customizable on what the dealer wants to offer and pricing, and things like building in Sunbit is built into it as well. So again, I can offer one payment, 3, 6, or 12 payments if that's something that the dealer can offer to help sell that maintenance service. So a lot of great features in there. And when I do sell the customer on that maintenance plan, when I go to print out the worksheet, it has all my labor times, has my part numbers, labor prices, part pricing. So it makes it really easy for your parts department to source the parts, and for your technicians to know what they're doing, and for the advisor to close out the ticket when things are done. So we're
Sure.
just keeping everybody in the loop.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Robert, very professional, very needed, very timely for our industry. And congratulations to you. That menu, service menu component is so overlooked, yet it's so basic and it's something we need. And I know you mentioned when do we present the menu, but I think, in a restaurant, when do they present the menu? Usually at the very beginning, right? Or near the beginning.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah. You need to know what you want to eat. So
They
yeah,
can
again,
present a menu later too, but you got to
yeah,
start.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, the dessert cart is
Oh,
always
dessert card.
a
Yes.
good thing to come. So yeah, again, we're super excited about this. Again, I
I
lived
see
in
why.
that space for a long time, and we're excited to get this out there. But as exciting as this is, and AI and everything that we've been doing, we're certainly not resting on our laurels. And I'm going to tease you again. We're working on another feature to be incorporated into fixed ops intel that we're going to spring on everybody here in a couple of days. So
Right.
stay tuned for that one. And can't wait to get back together with you and talk about that next feature that I think everybody's going to really love as well.
Well, we look forward to having you back and in person, Robert Wooden. And for dealers now here in January who want to get on board and time to look at that warranty uplift and what I need to do. What's the best way to reach Robert Wooden? Because you are the source. You are the person who's really put this on the map. And tell us the best way to get a hold of you.
Yeah, so you can just go on our website, warranty part.com. You can Google warranty uplift. We're there. You go to fixedopsintel.com. There are lots of different ways to reach us and find us, but just Google us. Warranty uplift or Wooden Automotive Consultants. There's a lot of different ways. We're all over the internet, and that's how a lot of folks find us, as well as referrals. We've been very blessed to have great customers over the years, and they refer a lot of folks to us as well. So, yeah, come find us. We'd love to help you.
Sarah, exciting stuff, and look forward to meeting with Robert in person.
Yes, Robert, lots of incredible data, lots of applications to really grow your bottom line.
Everybody, Robert Wooden, Fixed Ops Intel, warranty uplift, retail rates for warranty repairs, and now so much more with some of the glimpse we just had on the service menu side. Robert Wooden, everybody, here with us today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thanks, Ted. Thanks, Sarah. Good to see you again.
Great to see you.